Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Merkel, and today we are going to focus on some little details that are related to emotional freedom techniques. And some people kind of trip over some of these issues and leave them out. And you, if you've worked with me before, know that I use EFT in some of the work that I do, and I do it differently. I call it enhanced EFT because I combine it with neuro-emotional technique, which I knew before I learned EFT, and it's a practitioner-based system that focuses on physical issues that are emotionally based, and it needs a practitioner to facilitate the technique. But in combining it, I give you a lot more information and some really nice streamlined ways that you can use the tapping points for EFT to clear your own issues. So let's start with the setup statement. Now, the side of the hand, the karate chop point that Gary Craig used as his jumping off point in EFT is the small intestine meridian. And the small intestine is where 90% of the time you're feeling lost and vulnerable. So it's a perfect place to start EFT, to start with the intention of clearing an issue. So at this point, he suggests that you use a setup statement. And he's created a really nice setup statement that hooks some people. Some people are hung up. And then there are practitioners out there saying, well, I'll just skip the setup statement. Well, I don't always use the setup statement. However, if you don't use the setup statement because you don't feel aligned with it, then this is your opportunity to clear your misalignment so that you can use it, because it's a very potent thing. Now, if you've looked at one of my little books that's on Amazon, you can look at it on either one of my websites, either AnnMerkel.com or arielagroup.com. But this is the book on energy therapy and how to use energy therapy most in an enhanced way. And what it does is it describes to you in a very short volume how to utilize and talk to your subconscious, because your subconscious is always there. And when you tap, you're getting its attention. Now, our conscious mind and our mental state holds about 2% of reality. This is the problem solver. The mind thinks that we can solve, it can solve, our thinking pattern can solve all the problems that come up. Well, with 2% of the overall knowledge of what's really going on, are you crazy? Well, yeah, sometimes it is kind of crazy. So if you can work on two levels with your analytical mind as well and your creative, you can get into the left and the right lobes of the brain, with the left lane being analytical and the right brain being the creative, more flowing yin side. That's great. However, that's still only 2% information of what's going on. The rest is in the other many parts of the brain, your aura, your emotional body, your etheric body. You are a whole system, your vibration, your frequency, your electromagnetic field. This is all who you are. And when you're tapping on an acupuncture point or a meridian point, this is your energy channel. This is where you don't want energy to be blocked. And that's why we tap, to allow it to flow more freely. And also to take the focus away from our analytical mind and focus on clearing the issue by calling the amygdala, which is in your reptilian brain, into the conversation. So the setup statement is so potent because it says, even though XYZ is happening, even though I am feeling, you never say, even though I am depressed, you don't say that. You say, I am feeling, if there's an emotion, or you may say, even though all this craziness is going on in the world, even though, you know, the news is spouting all this garbage, and even though numbers are going up, even though there's news that's bothering me everywhere, that can be what you're choosing to clear. You're not claiming that that's who you are. So you're saying, even though this is going on, comma, I deeply and completely accept myself. And that's where you're speaking to your subconscious and to your full self, the other 98% of whoever's listening. So you're tapping, you're waking it up, you're saying, okay, subconscious, okay, other, most of myself, come into this conversation. So even though all this is going on and my mind is trying to solve the problems, I deeply and completely accept myself, which means no matter what my decisions have been, no matter what I've chosen to do up to now, no matter what's going on around me, I honor and I know that I am in a special temple, this divine creation, this wonderful entity of I am. And I'm honoring that by saying I deeply and completely accept myself. We're accepting our humanness. We're accepting that we're imperfect in how we react on this third dimensional earth plane. We make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes, hopefully. We may say things that that hurt other people. We may misuse our personal power. That's what these points are all about. Or give our power away. But, whatever we're clearing is okay, because we're doing the best we can do. And that's what we're acknowledging. So it's really important to acknowledge that this system is doing what it's doing for reasons, and they're all good. And it's all up to us to choose to do it this way or to choose to do it a different way. And that's, if you're doing this work, you are choosing to change the way that you've done it before. So as you're tapping and saying that, and I endorse doing it 3 times, like Gary Craig suggested, as you're tapping on the karate chop points. Even though this is going on, I deeply and completely accept myself. That brings the subconscious out. That says, okay, I'm here. All right, even though I'm feeling lost and vulnerable, okay, it's time to shift. Okay, we'll call in the energies, this resources that the analytical mind doesn't even know exists, let alone know how to call upon. So just in doing this, the analytical mind has said it's time to bring in the tool, and this is the tool. So that's a great way to start the process. So I highly endorse that if you're going to do EFT, that you start out with the setup statement and start out here, because this is where you're saying, Uncle, I can't take anymore. I need help. I'm lost and vulnerable. And that's where you're most impressionable. So honor your subconscious, that every part of you is doing the best it can do. And you're going to get rid of the garbage that's interfering so it can do a better job more easily. Okay, and let's jump through the sequence, because I'm going to, in subsequent little videos, I'm going to go through each point and help you to understand how to use this for what's going on in the world today. So, you know, my example here is, even though I am worried, even though I'm feeling worried, I just went against what I just mentioned to you. Even though I'm feeling worried, even though sometimes I feel hopeless, even though I'm afraid, I feel afraid, even though there are lots of lies out there around me, even though they're forcing people to do things that some people don't necessarily want to do, even though there are people being, you know, locked down, even though certain freedoms are being taken away from some people, you know, any of those kinds of things for today's situation. And I'm still in 2021 doing this video, so those things are still going on. Even though these are going on, I deeply and completely accept myself. I know I'm doing the best I can do. I know I choose to let go of all the static from outside. I know that I choose to feel the peace and the love and the joy. And that's where you can inject the things that you choose to have in your life. Okay, so just tap that in and know that that will make a difference. So as I go through a full EFT sequence, and usually I will jump to one point where the main emphasis of my emotions are found, you know, where, you know, if it's grief, if it's frustration, if it's anger and resentment, there are certain points for each of those emotions, and I will go just right there. I'll get really into the emotion and I'll tap it away. I don't always have to talk about what's going on, but it's the emotion. You've got to feel it, and as you're tapping, and then you will really be able to potently clear the charge. That's what we're doing. We're not losing memories. We're clearing emotional charge that gets in our way of making really good decisions and feeling good and feeling free and feeling light and raising our vibration. So that's what that's all about. That's what, you know, the whole technique of emotional freedom techniques is about. So I always end it by tapping with all 10 of my fingers on top of my head. And this is a wonderful tool, whether you do EFT or not. This is a tool that you can use just because it innervates a lot of neurovascular points up here on your cranium. And what I do is, while I'm tapping up here, I am focusing on all the things in life that I'm grateful for. You know, gratitude is a very high vibration when you choose to feel gratitude. And it's more than just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really getting into the feeling of gratitude with your heart. So use your mind to look outside of yourself, look out the window, look at nature, look at, you know, the fact that you're, you know, if you're doing a video, you have electricity, you've got the capabilities of having internet and video. If you're tapping on your head as we're talking, then you've got arms, you've got fingers, you've got the ability to tap, you know where your head is still, you know how to take instructions. You know? So these are all little tiny tidbits, but these are ways that you can amp up your energy and change your vibration, raise your vibration, and the world needs this, and you need this right now. So this is a really powerful tool that you can use, and I highly endorse it at the end of your EFT sequence, or whenever you know you just need a little boost to get out of the gloom, to get out of the hole, to get out of, the nastiness that's all around these days, because there's beauty still everywhere, and there's abundance everywhere, even though they're talking about shortages and backups and this is late and that's not going to happen and da 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 da. There is still abundance out there. There's still opportunities out there. And there are wonderful ways that you can attract those into your life. And that's why I'm putting together this little series of videos. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and keep that vibration up, because you're responsible for your vibration. And if you allow yourself to be fixated on the nightly news and what everybody else is thinking and doing, then you're not being very responsible. So take over and create a better vibration for yourself, because you can do it. You are empowered. Empower yourself. Okay. Have a good afternoon. Bye for now.